Now imagine that same hyper-personalization applied to your career, suggesting the best ways for you to work, for you to learn, for you to grow, tailored to your unique strengths, development areas, and personality. These trends are not optional anymore. They're non-negotiable. This is the Netflix effect at work. According to Deloitte, 71% of employees expect personalized work experiences. Yet only 9% of organizations said that they can deliver that. Personalized growth opportunities reduce turnover and fosters a sense of belonging and meaning. It gives people somewhere to aim for, which is especially crucial in very competitive talent markets. But here's the kicker. Leaders aren't just managers of change, they're architects of it. But in Asia, employees expect more detail, expect more meat on the bones to be able to trust that the leaders will get them to where they want to be. Whilst these shifts are momentous, definitely, especially for large multinational organizations, they are entirely possible to navigate. Hey guys, welcome to yet another episode of Future Fit with Friska. I was asked my opinion on the big ideas shaping 2025 and beyond. And in that, I zeroed in on two unstoppable trends that are rewriting the rules of work as we know it. The first is AI as co-pilot, and the second is the hyper-personalization of our workforces. So when I shot a video sharing my thoughts on these two key trends, I was featured in, I kid you not, 5 times in less than 2 weeks, racketing up to 500,000 views. So it's clear that these two trends are on the minds of leaders around the world. So before you tune out thinking that this is yet another dry tech conversation, let me say this. These trends will directly impact your career, your teams, and your organization's survival in ways that you simply cannot ignore. So let's dig into why they matter and what you can do to get ahead. So imagine this, you're driving across an unfamiliar city with Google Maps, guiding you every step of the way. It's recalculating your route in real time based on traffic, maybe construction, or even you take a wrong turn. That's what AI can do for your decision making at work. It won't replace you as the driver, but it'll be the ultimate co-pilot, helping you avoid pitfalls and optimize your journey. Or consider this. I talked about the personalization of the workforce similar to Netflix. The algorithm understands what you like, it predicts what you'll enjoy next, and it delivers it seamlessly. Now imagine that same hyper-personalization applied to your career, suggesting the best ways for you to work, for you to learn, for you to grow, tailored to your unique strengths, development areas, and personality. These trends are not optional anymore. They're non-negotiable if you want your organization and workforce to stay relevant. Companies that embrace them are already reaping the rewards: faster innovation, deeper employee engagement, and resilience in the face of constant rapid change. And those that don't, they'll struggle to compete in the new reality. So the corporate world is a battlefield, and the greatest casualty is time. While some organizations are still lacing up their boots to tackle today's challenges, others are leaping into tomorrow with AI-powered jetpacks. The future is at our feet, and it's shifting faster than we ever imagined. So leaders are faced with a stark choice: adapt or be outpaced, outclassed by the competition. Right? AI is not replacing us, it's reimagining how we work, learn, and lead. And hyper-personalization is not just a buzzword. It's a direct response to the modern workforce's demand for meaning, for agency, for growth. Think of it as the Netflix of work: predictive, adaptive, and sometimes a few steps ahead. Organizations that lean into these trends aren't just keeping up, they're thriving. They're the Amazons, the Googles, the Adobes of the world, rewriting the rules of engagement with their talent and their customers. But you don't have to be a huge global company, right? You can either choose to resist and deny, or You can avoid having the same fate as Blockbuster. Don't cling to those outdated methods until irrelevance knocks on your door. So today we'll unpack 5 key insights driving these seismic shifts and what they mean to you as a leader. So buckle up, it's time to get future fit. So the 5 key insights about AI and personalization, in my opinion, are as follows. The first is AI as the co-pilot, so augmenting human potential. And here's why. There's a huge fear, no matter what country you're in or what industry you may be working in, that AI will take over jobs. But the reality is far more empowering. So research by PwC says that AI has the potential to contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030, largely through augmenting human productivity, not replacing it. By automating repetitive tasks, AI allows employees to focus on creative problem solving, on strategy, on innovation. Right, a real life example occurred at Unilever. They used AI in hiring to analyze video interviews for traits like enthusiasm, like adaptability, like cultural fit. And this has reduced recruitment time by 75%. That's a crazy amount. And this allows HR teams to spend more time on what counts, building relationships instead of sifting through resumes. This isn't about robots taking over. It's about empowering humans to do their best work. Teams become faster, smarter, and more agile with AI as their co-pilot. The second insight is hyper-personalization. This is the Netflix effect at work. According to Deloitte, 71% of employees expect personalized work experiences, yet only 9% of organizations said that they can deliver that. Hyper-personalization isn't just a nice to have, it's now an expectation. So employees who feel that their needs are met, that they're tailored, are 4 to 6 times more likely to perform at their best. An example of this is Salesforce when they introduced My Trailhead, a personalized learning platform powered by AI. So it tailors training programs to individual employees based on their skills, goals, past performance, resulting in higher engagement and skill acquisition rates. This approach aligns individual aspirations with organizational goals, creating a win-win effect. Employees see clear career pathways while companies enjoy greater loyalty and productivity. The third insight is AI as a global connector. It's no secret, with widespread technology and internet connection, teams are now able to be more geographically dispersed. So the ability to collaborate across time zones and languages is crucial. AI tools like real-time translation software break down barriers, enabling seamless teamwork and innovation. So Microsoft Teams uses AI to offer real-time transcription and translation services. This helps global teams communicate. When a US-based company collaborates with partners in Japan, for example, AI tools can save hours previously lost to misunderstandings and manual translation efforts. Collaboration becomes seamless, becomes frictionless, and it allows us to innovate faster and more effectively in a global economy. So the fourth insight is personalization as a retention strategy. Why is this important? The Society for Human Resource Management estimates the cost of losing an employee as 1.5 to 2 times their annual salary. Hyper-personalization directly addresses this by making employees, helping them feel more valued and understood. Right? Adobe uses AI-driven career pathway tools that help employees map their career transitions and trajectories within the company. So as a result, they boast a 90% employee retention rate among top performers because they can see the path carved out for them, right? Personalized growth opportunities reduce turnover and fosters a sense of belonging and meaning. It gives people somewhere to aim for, which is especially crucial in very competitive talent markets. And last but not least, adaptability has become the new metric. The World Economic Forum predicts that 50% of employees will need reskilling by 2025. So that's only next year. So the speed of technological change means adaptability is now more valuable than stability. For example, Amazon's Upskilling 2025 program, They use machine learning to predict future skill needs and proactively reskill employees, keeping their workforce future ready while mitigating the risk of layoffs. I talk about this a lot in both my books. It's about the concept of future fitness. And I say that the future fit organizations are those that continually invest not just in learning and relearning, but unlearning, right? AI enables this to occur at a more cost-effective and efficient pace. So the benefits of these ensures a sustainable, resilient workforce that's ready to thrive no matter what the future throws at them.
Are you leading change but constantly running into a brick wall of resistance? Maybe you've huffed and puffed, yet still not blown the house down. You are not alone. Resistance to change is one of the biggest roadblocks that leaders face, but it doesn't have to be. Imagine turning that resistance into momentum which drives you forward. That's exactly what my free 5-part mini course will help you do. It's called Shifting Resistance into Resilience. And in just 5 lessons, I'll walk you through proven strategies to break down those walls. You'll learn how to identify the root causes of resistance, engage your key stakeholders, yes, even the stubborn and loud ones, and build a culture that doesn't fatigue with change. It actually feasts on it. Sound good? All you need to do is click the link to get started, and the first lesson will be in your inbox. Don't let resistance render you powerless. Turn it into resilience that will push you forward.
So that was a lot of change. That was a lot of insight. Let's quickly recap the 5. So the first is AI as co-pilot, right? Humans are still driving it. AI is there on the back seat to help us navigate through murky waters. The second we had was the Netflix effect. All right, imagine the buffet of things tailored to our likes and dislikes and what we previously enjoyed before. The same is possible with our workforces. The third insight was AI as a global connector. It enables us to transcend geographical, language, and cultural barriers faster than ever before. The fourth was personalization as a retention strategy. It's so competitive nowadays. Employees that feel that their needs and wants are heard, acknowledged, and catered for are likely to stay, and personalization does exactly this. And last but not least, adaptability as the new metric. So, how do these 5 insights influence how we lead? What do we need to start doing? And conversely, what do we need to stop doing? Because let's face it, in times of disruption, leadership isn't just important, it is everything. When the winds of change blow fiercely, leaders are the lighthouses that guide their teams to safer shores. The way leaders respond to transformative trends like AI's co-pilot and workforce personalization can mean the difference between thriving in the future and being left behind in the past. Change, especially at the pace that we're seeing today, can feel like walking a tightrope in a gale force storm. The challenges are intense. Employees are battling change fatigue, skepticism is aplenty around new technologies, and there's uncertainty about the pace of the thriving workforce. But here's the kicker. Leaders aren't just managers of change, they're architects of it. They have the power to shape mindsets, to inspire action, and embed innovation deep into the culture of their organizations. We know that people look to their leaders for stability and vision in turbulent times. In fact, a Gallup study found that 75% of employee engagement is directly influenced by their leaders. And this is why leaders must rise to the occasion, not by managing the status quo, but by leaning into the transformation with courage, clarity, and conviction. So, as we dive into the leadership implications, keep in mind that leadership isn't about waiting for the future to arrive, it's about shaping it with deliberate action. So, let's explore how leaders can seize the opportunities that these trends present, ensuring that their organizations stay future fit, resilient, and ahead of the curve. The first leadership implication is that you must treat AI as a partner, not a threat. Leaders need to demystify AI by framing it as an enabler, not a competitor. For example, HSBC used AI to streamline compliance tasks, reducing time spent on paperwork by 60%. And come on, who the hell loves paperwork? Pretty much no one. The leadership team actively communicated that this freed employees to focus on customer-centric activities like financial planning. The impact was that employees felt empowered rather than threatened, leading to higher morale and increased productivity. The second leadership implication is that you now have to hyper-personalize your leadership. Tailoring of your leadership approach to meet individual team members' needs needs to happen even more. And it's harder to get the same results given the fact that we're all information overload and we seem to exist in a high pressure, busy state. It's harder than ever to cut through. So an example was a multinational tech firm that used AI-driven dashboards to provide managers with real-time insights on team performance and engagement. Leaders use this data to adapt their management style, such as providing more coaching to underperformers or autonomy to high achievers. It's data-driven. The impact was that employees reported higher job satisfaction and performance ratings as they felt that their uniqueness, their unique needs, their unique strengths were recognized and acknowledged. The third leadership implication is that you must embed AI into the organizational culture. We have to normalize it. We have to incorporate it into the everyday workflows, everyday rhythms, and decision making. DBS Bank in Singapore created an AI Guild program to train employees in AI tools and encourage experimentation. Employees were incentivized to find creative AI applications for their roles. The impact was that this initiative led to a 20% reduction in operational costs and boosted employee engagement in AI-related tools. And this fostered a sense of innovation and excitement at the new and foreign. It was no longer scary. So we have to gamify AI if we want to make it part of daily work. We have to invoke more curiosity instead of contempt. The fourth leadership implication is to prioritize adaptability over stability. Shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset at the organizational level. Spotify is an example that's done this really well. So it recognizes its teams every few months based on changing market needs. So this means teams are encouraged to embrace scrums and to iterate, constantly solve new problems. This adaptability has kept Spotify ahead of competitors in the fast-paced music streaming industry, and I think they've done really well. If someone asked me who's the competitor to Spotify, I would actually struggle to come up with an answer. I don't think there is a competitor. The fifth leadership implication is you have to make storytelling a superpower. Stories build trust and buy-in for anything new, whether it's technologies, whether it's policies, whether it's processes. We need the why, yes, but also the who, the what, and the how. And remember, storytelling looks different, feels different, has different content depending on the cultural context. So for example, in Western countries like Australia and the US, it's very common to kind of excite people, a bit of rah-rah over a big picture vision if it's long term. And the details may not be fully fleshed out yet. But in Asia, employees expect more detail, expect more meat on the bones to be able to trust that the leaders will get them to where they want to be. So a real-life example of this is when Procter & Gamble introduced AI tools for supply chain optimization. Leaders told stories of how AI had already reduced shipping delays, making life easier for employees and customers alike. So framing AI as a helpful tool rather than a threat reduces resistance and it increases adoption across teams. You may be thinking now, why does this matter? It matters because the future of work isn't about humans versus machines. It's how we can partner with technology to unlock our full potential, to reach heights that we'd only ever dreamed of. Right? AI as co-pilot and hyper-personalization of workforces, they're game-changing trends because they focus on enhancing our human strengths, not replacing them. Leaders, the future fit leaders that embrace these trends will see faster innovation, happier employees, and longer-term resilience being fostered throughout their teams. The question isn't if you should adapt, It's actually how fast can you get started? The future that we're stepping into may feel daunting. The rise of AI as co-pilot and the shift towards personalized workplaces represent, you know, pretty big monumental changes to how we think, work, and lead. And it's natural that for this level of disruption, it can feel overwhelming. Change, after all, brings uncertainty. And with that uncertainty comes hesitation. But here's the truth. While these shifts are momentous, definitely, especially for large multinational organizations, they are entirely possible to navigate if you have the right stuff, the right mindset, the right strategies, and the right support. Change doesn't have to be a storm to weather. It can actually be a really exciting wave you can ride. Organizations that thrive won't just adapt, they'll use these trends to innovate, to empower their people, and to redefine what success looks like in this new era. Yep, it takes effort, not gonna lie. Yes, it requires stepping out of your comfort zone. You will ruffle a few feathers, but with the right leadership and change management partners, it is possible. It's about creating clarity amid the noise, building trust when fear emerges, and setting a path that your people will follow with confidence. That's where I come in. These transformations may seem complex, but guiding organizations and leaders through change and disruption, through uncertainty, is what I do best. So, my question is, what's your next move? Thank you for tuning in to another solo episode of Future Fit with Friska. So let's together embrace 2025 with the 3 C's, with curiosity, with courage, with a relentless commitment to staying ahead of the curve. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. I invite you to share your big ideas shaping your 2025 with me at linkedin.com/in/Friska or DM me on Instagram at instagram.com/Friska. Till then, see you again on Future Fit with Friska.